Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a guest here from Australia. He came from very far away from down under. Reuben Schoots. How are you, friend? Good?
Well, man, how are you?
Good, good. It's good to see you again. Huh?
Likewise, yeah, stoked to be back.
It's nice to have you back in our studio. We're doing it in a different setup now, like last time. And you were here, what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Yeah, it was December 2022.
Nice, damn. The time passes, huh?
Yeah,
Where we talked about your Series 1 watch and your journey, and you brought your almost assembled like Daniel's pocket watch, right? Because you're reading this book as well. Tell me, how was it since then? What happened?
yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, and things have just continued to progress in terms of developing skills as a watchmaker, as in terms of meeting with different people in the industry, and also now the realization of the second watch, my Series 2, and yeah, it's been pretty tremendous.
Nice. And how was the response? So you made the first watch, and it was, if I remember, based on a Unitas, or what was the?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and then the second watch was a huge jump,
Yes.
right? Like even I knew you a bit. We spoke about the first series. You told me the ideas a bit, but I was like not shocked, but I was like, wow, this is like a huge step up. So, I mean, first of all, congrats. We'll talk about the series 2 watch today, but why are you in Europe? What
Yeah.
leads you here?
Well, yeah, firstly, thank you very much. There is a lot more work and thought and time that went into this watch than over the first one. I've come to Europe to attend the Louis Vuitton Watch Prize. I was very fortunate to be a semi-finalist
Nice.
in this competition.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a tremendous honor for me to be recognized, as a self-taught watchmaker from Australia. I never imagined that I would be, considered for this. And of course, I'm here as well to catch up with you again and to show you the new watch.
Yeah, I mean, we really moved mountains and schedules, and thank you for taking the time. I know it's not easy because we just wanted to take advantage of the opportunity because we showed the series 1 and I wanted to be the channel again to show the progress, and I would love to show the series 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever you're gonna make in the future. So you're always welcome back in Zurich. So the series 2, what was the biggest challenges for you?
For me, I wanted everything about the next watch to be an improvement over the first one. So needed the design to be improved. I needed the finishing to be improved. I wanted to bring more of the watch made in-house by myself as well. And I wanted to sort of push my limits as a watchmaker and to progress and learn new skills.
And there is a big difference. So let's maybe start with the case. I want to go with you basically to the watch, from the case to the movement, and you tell us like what do you do, what do you outsource, what's some of the challenges in doing so. So the case, are you doing it yourself in Australia or?
Yeah, the case I made. The case is made in 3 parts from 316 stainless, which was another unique challenge to machine the stainless and to finish. It's a very tough material, but it ends up being very nice actually to work with once the initial problems are solved. I wanted the case to be elegant and as thin as possible. And I wanted to incorporate, you'll see that the side of the case is with a satin blasted finish, and then the case back and the front bezel with a high polished radius. And then the crown is more of a traditional styling, quite simple. It's a waterproof crown, which proved to be a relatively tricky problem to solve. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how the case turned out, and it was it felt like an achievement once it had been solved. There was many iterations and lots of learning to arrive at the point where the case was functioning, sealed correctly, fitted well on the wrist, and also looked how I envisioned that it would.
So this one is 41 millimeters. The series 1 was 42.
That's correct, yep.
Yeah. And is your goal to do like smaller watches in the future? You want to stay kind of in this 41, 40 range?
Yeah, for sure. I would like to bring the size down. For me, something around 38, 39 is sort of a nice sweet spot. Can fit smaller wrists and bigger wrists, and I think for a more classical dress watch, it's more suitable.
Yeah.
First things first, I want to be able to manufacture every part of the watch movement, the parts that are remaining. I want to bring in-house. And once that's achieved, I've been working on my own movement, be
Nice.
somewhere around 30 millimeters, and that will give me a lot more freedom with case size.
Beautiful. I like the case a lot because it's like symmetrical. And then the dial, a very mesmerizing dial indeed. You have a guilloche on the outskirts and on the second sub-dial. Why do you choose these patterns per se?
Heavily inspired by the work of Breguet and Daniels, and personally, I really just like the classical dial with the bleach whitened silver, and I really do adore traditional guilloche patterns, and I think that it's creates a very handsome dial.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring something. Guilloche is geometrically very perfect, and I wanted to bring something organic into the watch. And so I spent a lot of time and a lot of prototypes, and lots of trial and error, and trying different materials and techniques. And in the end, I settled on this pattern here that is in the center dial, and I'm really pleased with the result. And some people, when they see it, say it looks like crumpled tissue paper. Other people's, like crumpled gold foil. But I think most often people are seeing like snow mountains.
Snow mountains. Yeah. It's beautiful. So how is this pattern achieved? Is the dial like in different parts or?
Yeah, the dial is in various parts. So the chapter rings, the seconds dial, the nameplate are all in German silver, and then the dial backing with the guilloche and the engraving are from silver. The central pattern was modeled and designed in 3D, and then it is engraved onto the dial.
Really?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So it was a very complicated and tricky problem for me to solve. And I wanted to bring something that, at least as far as I'm aware, is a unique pattern on a dial.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know any other watch that has it, and I've seen some quirky watches before, and I've never seen this. But I also like the idea of combining this very traditional skill of guilloche with this new modern, let's say, 3D technology, engraving part, which is cool. It's a nice mix. And a basket weave pattern on guilloche is one of my favorites. So, what about the hands? Again, very different, and I love our hand. It's like a little paper airplane, huh? Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the tip. I wanted the arrow tip, so the hands have the same basic shape as the first watch, but I wanted to really focus on the 3D aspect, and so the tip of the hour hand has this this sculpted finish, and I wanted that to look somewhat like an arrow tip, or like you say, a paper aeroplane. That will do. Now I'm getting comments that the dial looks like crumpled paper with a paper aeroplane. Which
you love origami, basically.
Yeah, which I don't mind. It's for sure. However anyone wants to interpret it is great. The hands as well, I wanted to really emphasize the finishing quality and standards with the black polished bosses with the polished chamfers, as well as on the second hand with the counterweight as well with the black polish. And I'm genuinely very pleased with how the hands came out.
Yeah.
They're exactly as I wanted them to be, and it was a lot of work to be able to bring the standard from where they were to where they are now.
No, it looks gorgeous. The whole watch came together so nicely. How many did you make of this piece, of the Series 2?
Series 2, there are 8 pieces.
And they all look the same on the front, or
That's
did people
right, yes.
customize them? Okay, cool. And then I think the most, not the most, but also very advanced development from last time, the movement. So walk us through it. What is the base? What did you do? How did you do it?
Yeah, I wanted to start with by designing the movement to be as open as possible. I wanted to create some unique and interesting geometry in the movements. I tried to really play with depth, which is relatively difficult with only a few millimeters of height. In the movement, you'll see on the escape wheel and the pallet fork cock that there is like a radius, as well as there's another radius on the main plate. And that was something I wanted to bring in and apply to the movement. And I think going forward, I will play even more with this idea. The center wheel has a steel cock, very much in a Daniels style.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very much an homage to his work. And this was probably the most challenging thing for me to make, aside from the main plate. just the machining process, and then also the hand finishing process is long, and there are many opportunities for error, and I wanted to achieve the best possible finish that I could. So I spent a lot of time on this steel cock, and originally the Series 2 was not to feature any wheel train from myself. The wheel train is based from a Unitas,
Yeah.
like the first watch.
Yeah.
But with the amount of time and effort spent on the steel cock, I thought I need to make the center wheel. So I've made the center wheel there. It's made from German silver to distinguish it
Yeah, it has a different color, yeah, I see.
as my own. And I'm really pleased with the result and how the movement has turned out. The cram wheel cap with the rose gold color is beryllium copper. And I really like how this material it looks. I love the color. I think it goes really nicely with the German silver. It's also, functionally speaking, a very sound material. And the movement in general, I wanted to put a little bit more of myself into the design and the architecture. Bringing more of what I would really want to make if I had the opportunity into the watch.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And here we see it's an engraving as well on the bottom, because this is, I assume, a customer's watch.
This one, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Customer or Mrs. Customer,
Yes.
for allowing us to film this as well.
He's a truly wonderful client of mine.
Beautiful. Where are your clients based out of? Most of them. I mean, it's 8 watches for this one, so I assume it's a bit everywhere, but...
Yeah, it's quite spread out. Fortunately for the second series, I have quite a few customers from Australia, which is really positive for me to be able to connect locally. The first series, this was not the case, but the remaining pieces have gone essentially all over the world. Different spots in Europe, United States, and in Asia as well.
Yeah, and the engravings, are they done? I mean, the signature for him or the initials are, I see, hand engraved?
No, these are done on the milling machine. I worked very hard to make sure the quality was very high to produce a proper reflection and to make them as beautiful as possible. The engraving there is the customer's initial as well as mine.
Nice. And the screws are also heat blued, right? Some of them.
Yeah, the
two
screw on
screws.
the balance cock and the center wheel cock are heat blued, and the remaining screws are either black polished or rounded with left in the raw steel.
Beautiful. What was your biggest challenge in doing the movement? Was it the central bridge?
I would say the finishing of the central steel cock there, as well as the main plate. The machining the main plates, there are so many tolerances, and every single critical dimension and the position of every hole is affecting every other hole and every other tolerance. So this was a real challenge, and I had to push myself in my ability to achieve the machining to make this main plate, but it was also a truly rewarding experience.
Yeah, beautiful. And what was the price point of the Series 2? The Series 2 is, by the way, sold out, right? Since a while now, yeah.
Yes.
So, guys, if you have some questions about this piece, it's unfortunately sold out, but you're making Series 3?
Yeah, most certainly.
So you can reach out and maybe apply. Depends. Is it sold out as well?
No, it's
Good.
it's I have not announced or opened for Series 3.
Okay. Did we just spoil it?
Well, what?
Spoil the Series 3?
Sure.
Okay, good. So there's Series 3 coming, so get one while you can, while the supply lasts, whatever it will be. What was the price point of the Series 2? Because Series 1 was below 10K, no?
That's correct, yes. I'm not sure what the price is in euro, somewhere around 35,000 euro. It's 57,500 Australian dollars.
Yeah. And tell me, Series 3, what can you tell us about it, and when is it launching?
Series 3 will be, yet again, hopefully another, evolution of quality, finishing, design, etc. In the Series 2, I don't make from the third wheel to the escapement or the winding works. That's what's left. So I want to bring those into Series 3, at which point the entire watch will be made by myself. And Series 3 will feature another new dial that will be whatever I find most interesting and enjoyable to make at the time. There are quite a few ideas I have at the moment, which I will hopefully be sharing very soon. And yeah, Series 3, I think people can just expect that I'm continuing to work very hard to keep improving.
Yeah. And you basically learned watchmaking with this book and more, right? You didn't
That's
finish
right, yeah.
Swiss fancy schools and whatever. You're like Daniel's, an autodidact, no?
Yeah, that's
As far as I
correct.
remember.
Yeah, there are no watchmaking schools in Australia, and at the time I was, as we spoke about previously, I was coming out of a period of extended illness and didn't have the energy or the finance to move overseas to study. And for me, I just started, just had to go and failed a lot, and I still work just like this. Of course studied the George Daniels book,
Yeah.
and got a good idea of the basics. But the real work is, of course, in practicing and repeating
Yeah,
these
of course.
actions. The way I work and still today, and I really enjoy. It's probably not the most logical way to be working, but I just get into the workshop, and if I want to achieve something, for example, the finishing of the snailing on the ratchet wheel, just try different things.
Yeah, which
And
looks beautiful better.
thank you so much.
And in light, it's nice.
Thank you.
Awesome. And then the Series 3 into your, let's say, will be a time only, or will you add some complications to it, or?
At this stage, Series 3 will be time only. Yeah, my real focus is on continuing to improve my capacity and capabilities. Also, a large emphasis is on growing the workshop and expanding the workshop to become completely suitable for producing every single component. And once this is achieved, then there will be time and space for doing other things.
Yeah, complications and stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Did you ever think about doing like a coaxial or something from Daniels?
Yeah, most certainly.
Yeah.
It would be the ultimate goal or dream for me to be able to, one day in the very far away future, to bring some escapement that hasn't been done before, or potentially looking at escapements that have been designed in the past that haven't been realised. That is something that truly interests me. That would be a lovely thing to achieve.
Yeah, that would be cool, huh? And is there a favorite watch from this book? Because you told me mine is basically untouched here. Yours is, I assume, full of notes and markings and whatever.
Yeah, my book is
What's your favorite page,
very
basically?
well worn. My favorite page. I love the chapter. There's a lot of good information in there. I really appreciate in this book actually the technical drawings of escapements.
Yeah.
They're very well done. All the critical dimensions are there, and the explanation of why and how. My favorite watch from George is probably the Space Traveler.
Yeah.
Probably, I think. Aesthetically, I think it's very beautiful and very appealing. But I think that he sort of saw the future in a way that at the time maybe it seemed a bit silly to have time on another planet, but actually this is now potentially relevant.
Potentially it's happening.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, again, like you, George was a self-taught watchmaker, which is incredible. I mean, he was in engineering, but not watchmaking. So to have achieved what he did and write the book, and this book basically, I know every watchmaker that comes here has one of these books, It's like a common thread.
Yeah.
I don't understand nothing in it, I just look at the nice pictures. But I know from somebody like you who can actually take use of it, it must be a big encyclopedia of knowledge.
Certainly, it's a tremendous asset for us all to have, and what I'm doing now is not even close to as remarkable as what George achieved in the time period that he did it, and reviving the idea of independent watchmaking, that one person can actually sit down and design, make, and finish an entire watch.
Sure. Well, man, Reuben, this was a nice throwback. Pleasure to
Yeah.
have you here again, huh?
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, like I said, anytime. Series 3, come back, or maybe I go to Australia this time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
As we can visit the workshop, actually, would be cool. And guys, you know what to do. Show some love to Reuben. Ask him about the Series 3 coming out. Again, this one is sold out. The first one is long gone. The third one is still available. Probably the pricing, he will tell you all about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.